Okay, and we should be live now. So I'm just going to switch us onto full screen. There we go. So, well, hello and welcome to the Warband battle stream. I'm joined today by Deacon Barry.
Hello, and I'm with Alan.
Yes, indeed. So, what are we looking at today? We're looking at
Nations Cup, Russia versus Finland should be pretty good.
indeed.
Russia, one of the favourites to win the whole tournament. Strong so far in friendlies.
And is there anyone that you think we should particularly be looking at in this lineup?
Well, for the Russians, I mean, obviously you've got people like Golta, obviously very good. They're strong all over, I think. Like Tarok is a very, very nice double here. So they're dangerous all over. They have some fantastic archers as well. If we see Jans turn up, in fact, he is in specs right now.
Hopefully the stream should be coming through okay. Yeah, seems to be. And the stream will have a 1 minute delay as well, so we're seeing things a little bit behind time, but it removes any possibility of cheating. Not that there's much of them, but there we go. Okay, so...
For Finland, I mean... Oops, someone's just joined. Hey man. Yeah, for Finland, it's well, Jab's obviously a very strong player, Monkey, fantastic infantry. So Mersu, they've seen him around on editions a few times, but they're strong as well. I mean, they have the players to actually be able to cause Russia some problems. I know they're going to be underdogs for this match, but I definitely think they could cause an upset. They've got the players for it.
So is it going to be an 8v8, and I think it's 16 rounds, is it? Or is it 10v10?
I would have thought so.
They've got a lot of players, certainly, if it's an 8v8. Russia's got an entire second team ready to go, by the looks of it.
Yeah, I think they've had quite a lot of volunteers. I mean, it's got a very strong kind of deep player base, hasn't it? Really, the Russian team.
Yeah.
Got a lot of fantastic players. For me, actually, I'd say they were my favourites to win the tournament. I know a lot of people saying France, a few saying USA, even UK's been touted, but I just think Russia they're taking it more seriously than a few of these other teams. I know USA take it quite seriously, but I feel like they've gone all out. I mean, we saw in the ANL I think it was Reinjar left the ANL to concentrate on Nations Cup, which just tells you how seriously they're taking this tournament.
Yeah, interesting that some of the others don't seem to.
Which is good of them, because they're very pretty.
Yeah.
Thanks Q2E for making such a fantastic banner pack, actually.
So Golta
and Rurik saying hello to his mum and his brother in his kitchen, which is very sweet.
So hopefully they'll give us some spectator privileges, or I seem to be able to move around anyway.
Yep, someone should probably tell them that.
So we have the Finn... Oh, help. Oh. Russians have 9 players.
Not
8 now.
Because it's already turned off. Oh, there you go.
Finns are moving down with 2 cavalry into the... I think that's their cavalry, isn't it? That's the Russians. That's the Russian cavalry. Into the back alleys. Russians occupying graveyard.
Expect a bit of caution. I mean, often this map goes like that. It will either be one massive fight straight away in the graveyard as both teams try and grab that kind of tactical area, or it will just be a standoff as one team stands in the alleys and one team just holds that kind of commanding position in the graveyard.
Yeah, sometimes might get fights in the alleys as well, actually, but yeah, those are sort of the usual layouts, aren't they? So it looks like we're in for a waiting game with this first round.
Yep, that's Warband, isn't it?
A pretty standard layout in terms of the Russian team. They got crossbows spread out. Oh, they're getting ready for something actually. This looks interesting.
They're really bunched together actually, the Russians. Well, quite a strong bunch. A lot of crossbows, but I mean, oof. I reckon they're waiting for some kind of charge. Seems like they're going to try and catch them by surprise if the Finns do push in.
They have to try and get the Finns to spread out, thinking they're setting up, and yeah, here they go.
It's nice to see a bit of aggression actually.
Yep, and now, ooh, hello. We split up into two groups. They may be trying to get some flanking moves on here. But they got no one to catch.
Yeah. It was a nice idea.
Yeah. No targets.
Mm.
So now the
Well, they're actually pushing up through the alleys.
Yep.
The Finns seem to be pushing away. They're kind of weak here. He's going to be caught out if he's not careful. Sir Mercer's behind this guy. Sir Mercer missed the point blank shot there, but Arnie takes down Demon X. That could be bad. So, oh, it's not left for Finland.
down.
I don't know how they were taken by surprise then.
Or even taken by surprise.
Yeah, because it took all them.
Yeah, so it's pretty much a whitewash in the first round.
It's a little strange that. It looked like they had a decent defensive position, looked like Russia's tactic had to kind of failed, but they pushed in anyway, managed to secure a few kills and seemed to take Finland by surprise, who I guess were probably waiting for the flag.
I think the team who went into the alleys directly just tried to stay alive long enough for the other one to get around the back, and once that happened then the Finns were basically caught.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could be simply, I don't know, perhaps individual player skill making a difference.
Yeah, I mean there was a lot. I mean most of the kills seem to be with Expos. Whether that's, I mean you'd have to say, oh well, there's two Expo teams, and Expos is the kind of range weapon you'd want on this map. So it's going to be quite easy to bang out headshots and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Finns really want to be watching out for that again. So if the Russians do it again, they're only caught in the same way. And they also, but then again, maybe they won't. Maybe they assume the Russians won't do that. Russians seem to be just having a standard defensive layout on Graveyard, but that's what they're doing before, and then they grouped up and charged.
Yeah.
They might play
I don't think we'll see that kind of aggression again there.
Yeah, they might play it straight this time.
I mean, it's quite a standard build actually, isn't it? Really, that the Russians have.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just a lot of nice Expos and a hunter.
3 Expos, 4 infantry, and a hunter. Yeah, pretty. It's a nice layout really, because you can't really use more than 3 Expos really on this map. There's not that many firing positions, and they're not as good in support, so you may as well have the infantry with the pole arms.
Yeah. Well, the pikes as well will be pretty handy, I guess. Slow wall hammers.
Oh yeah, I mean pikes are ridiculous.
Zoltanus having a stuff with the Russian cav. Kind of giving each other nasty. So he charges in, tags his horse. He's got to watch out, he might get shot. No, he backs off.
Are we going to see any aggression from the Finns, I wonder?
Seemed like, I mean, we saw in the last round, I think they got too comfortable really. I mean, they're very spread out, so I think it's probably unlikely.
Yeah, they're also not putting any pressure on the Russians at all. They're just basically each team is just sat in the little defensive areas, not even pressuring the other team at all.
It's probably, I mean, a good opportunity for perhaps the Finns to push up and actually trap them in the graveyard and maybe. Because I mean, it can become a bit of a death trap graveyard if you can fully surround it, especially if the flag doesn't spawn there and they have to get out. But even to attack, I mean, once you got the ladder up, I mean.
Looks like we're seeing the Russians move out again. Oh, hello. But some are staying behind. Or just struggling. I'm not sure why the group then stayed behind like that.
Here they come for that push. This is something we actually saw I doing against Renegades, if you remember how they'd kind of push in, try and get a kill or two, and then maybe pull back after like a few minutes of camping.
Yeah, the Finns seem to have changed tack this time. They seem to have moved more towards the central arena. Sorry,
yeah, they've abandoned it.
Yeah, and
they're a bit more prepared this time.
Don't know, I don't think the place they're retreating to is particularly good.
No. Oh, they're getting back caught out in the open. Are they going to the graveyard?
I'd say this is already over. They've got
That's Russia's cab's just been down there.
Oh, in that case, maybe it's not over.
If they just keep their shields up and they can cause some pretty nasty damage. This cabs needs to get a kill soon now, and he's downed. And you'd have to set a bit of this opportunity there. Mercer gets a TK. Russians are just cleaning this up, no problem.
Those Cav could have been critical there. It's the one place Cav can really be effective on this map, it's in the middle.
He's had to do better really, no? This poor Axel, left on his own against 8 Russians. That'll be fun.
They'll have no trouble. No trouble at all.
Yeah. Oh, that looked painful. A nice little slash to the back of the head. It's been easy for them so far. I mean, tactically they've been a bit passive really, the Finns. I think they could be doing a bit more to kind of pressure the Russians, maybe force them some mistakes, and I guess the Cav needed to do something there when they had that kind of definitive advantage.
Yeah, also I think the Russians have repeated the same tactic twice now. If the Finns don't do something to try and take advantage of that fact, then, you know... I mean, I don't think just retreating more is really what they need. They need to be trying to catch the Russians out, because those moves when you try and send two groups around, they are vulnerable, because if you manage to catch one of the groups, you can crush them in time.
Yeah.
That's the real risk with using those tactics.
And I guess that's why we don't see that kind of aggression often, because often it's punished, isn't it? Because you get one group sent one way and they'll just be absolutely cut up and butchered, and then you're just left with half your force there.
Yeah, well, I have to say that Swadians are probably the weaker team for the weaker faction for this map, really. The Roddiks with their...
yeah.
The Roddiks have better shields, they have better swords for the one-handers.
The military cleaver's a very, very nice weapon, but I think you still, I mean, if this tactical mistakes, I'd say, rather than even player skill. I mean, Russians might be winning, but even if, I mean, if they had better weapons or whatever, but it just seems like their tactics have been a bit off, a bit passive, not kind of willing to commit. And I don't know, do you think they're being a little defeatist, fighting the favourites?
Possibly. I don't know. I think they could do a bit more aggressive. Yeah, you're definitely right about that. They've just been sitting there and let the Russians move in. They haven't even tried to contest graveyard at all.
Well, exactly. I mean, there's no reason they couldn't push up to the graveyard, or even actually, I mean, they seem to just retreat in a kind of spread out fashion, which means they're just getting cut.
Russians moving out now from graveyard. Different tactic this time. They got a small group of 4. I suppose it's actually half the force. It's not that small a group, but.
Will we see the Finns that try and defend their proper an area? Because they haven't been doing it. Axel pokes his head around the corner, he's getting charged. And they're doing it again, they're actually just retreating, and I'm not quite sure why. They're fleeing to the graveyard now. He's going to be caught out, Sir Mercy's downed.
And they're taking casualties because of these retreats.
Yeah, but it's just silly, isn't it? Unless the Cav down, and you'd have to say it's probably over already. I mean, this kind of retreat's not helpful, is it? They're just getting disorder. You're bound to take casualties if you're retreating in that kind of open area.
They might have a chance here, actually, but no, seem to be...
Monkey downed. Expo's start coming, and it's gone again, hasn't it? Jab gets a kill. Is that one of their first kills?
That's their first kill. Out of 3 rounds, yeah.
Oh, it's looking great for the Finns, isn't it?
Their morale's got to be pretty shattered at this point.
Well, it seems like the morale was shattered from round 1, to be honest.
Yeah, but we'll have to see how they do with the Roddiks, as I say.
Yeah, I mean, we a few of us, most of us know how Monkey and Axel can be pretty unpleasant to fight when they have hammers.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think we'll see them other kind of utilising hammers and pikes with them. Hopefully, might even up the odds.
It just seems that I mean, if you look at the way the Finns have been moving around, they've been mostly disorganised bunch, really. They haven't been moving like in these organised packs like the Russians have. The Russians seem to have people in...
a retreat.
Yeah, the Russians seem to have people in like specific locations doing specific tasks, and when they're moving out in a nice cohesive group. The Finns just seem to be pulling back when the Russians are coming towards them.
It's they're holding defensive positions is the thing I don't quite understand. They're holding this alley. Why not try and force a fight there? I mean, the Rodoks don't have amazing kind of like throwing weapons, which I know can make defending that kind of place a pain. So why not actually try and stop them? I mean, the Russians are the ones attacking. It should be a great opportunity to kind of force a defensive fight in a kind of choke point area.
Right.
You'd have to say the Cavs have underperformed to some extent.
Yeah, they haven't really had opportunity. Well, have had opportunity. They haven't really done much with it though. Oh, we're seeing Russians moving out now. Yep, small Russian groups. Seems to be the same tactics before.
I mean, hope we'll see them actually trying to defend. I mean, the retreats seem suicidal, and here they come, and actually, they're pretty well armoured now.
Yeah, and this is the problem with the Swadians. They have, apart from the all pikes, they have very... Oh dear. Oh no, no, no. This is not going to go well. Oh, but all the Finns moving in against them.
Oh, lovely shot there, right into Axel's head, poor sod. Cav comes through. This is the kind of thing they should have been doing earlier. I don't know if they're going to be able to act quickly enough to really make the difference. And I think Zoltan's horse is going to go down and he's taken out. Is he going to? Yeah, when he's down by Tarok. And No Mercy Monkey go down to Arnie's link.
Yeah.
Sandora can out crash Dave, yep. Turned into a massacre quite quickly.
The Russians couldn't have asked for much of a better first set, could they, really? One death out of 4 rounds.
Yeah, 1 kill for the Finns isn't exactly the what they would have been after. Is this another round? Oh, I think...
Oh, is it a
Are the
5
teams
round?
allowed to decide to... I think the teams might be allowed to decide if they have an extra round. Alright, I'm going to ask Alex.
I think at this point, though, as I was saying, the Swadians' swords will just be bouncing off armour. They won't be able to kill them. They'll take 4 or 5 hits with some of them.
Well, I mean, that being the case, you'd think, like, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 of the infantry should be trying to, I mean, I know it's a bit of a lost cause, but maybe take a two-handed sword.
Yeah, could do.
I can't see how they'd deal with it. Because otherwise, I mean, they're just, these short swords, or even their standard swords just aren't, they're just going to ping off, aren't they?
But Finns are retreating again. Oh!
Oh, that was really nice there by Nico. Goltar, ooh, takes out Crash Day. Shouldn't matter too much with the kind of armour they're stacking now. Nico tried picking off that. That was nice play using his warhorse there as just a kind of physical barrier.
Yeah.
And a really nice bump stab there by Nico. Takes out Demon X. And that's the Cav bound again, and you'd have to say this is looking pretty hopeless for the Finns.
Once again defending the graveyard, but I don't know if it's going to do much good at this point.
I think they can't be losing the Cav like that. I mean, he died essentially trying to defend Demon, and both of them were just out of position, got taken out quite quickly, and with very little damage done to the Russians.
Russians retreating back. Obviously regrouping for another charge.
I mean, it was nice by actually. I don't know if you noticed it, how he was just kind of using it as a kind of wall, basically, his horse, just to put it in the way of people.
I try and do that myself sometimes, especially against enemy horsemen. I don't usually do it against infantry, but yeah, it can be quite effective. And
looks like I think she'll just happily wait here now. Like, the Finns don't really... It's in this kind of 8v8. I don't think they have enough left to really contest, especially with the armour.
Yeah.
Especially if it's not in the graveyard.
I have to say it's been nice. I was expecting a lot of flag waiting, and we haven't got that, which is nice.
No, it's good. It's been good actually to see the Russians' kind of aggression rewarded pretty comprehensively. I mean, whilst I would like to have been maybe a bit closer, I mean, it's good, it's great to see actually. Because often, I mean, too often, saying we see just camp fest.
Yeah. Honestly, on this map, I'm not entirely sure if there's that much of a defensive bonus added by any of the areas. I mean, they're better. They had a little bit, but I don't think they had so much that they're untakeable, or that'll make it short to lose.
Often they're kind of counterproductive as well, aren't they? I mean, I think in one of our recent scrims, actually we tried defending it, and people just rolled up with about 50 throwing weapons each, and just like suppressed all the expos and charged in and killed everyone. Yeah. And it can actually be quite easily turned. I mean, if the attackers are prepared or know what they're doing or are coming from both sides, actually they're not amazing defensive positions, which is probably why, like you say, the Russians have been rewarded for their aggression.
There's the first flag.
And you'd have to say couldn't have been much worse for the Finns, could it?
Yeah, the Finns are obviously banking on it appearing in the graveyard.
Well, I don't know. I think they've probably given up a while ago, hadn't they?
Axel's charging in solo here.
He's a brave man.
Oh no, behind
he's
his
got his crew ahead of him. Oh no, God. The Russians are coming behind. Sarah Mercy's in an acre of trouble. Sandora versus Arnie. Nice double hit there by Sandora, but you don't fancy his chances against someone wearing this much armor. And I mean, we saw it there. Sandora hit Arnie 3 times, I think it was. Didn't even scratch him.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, you want to be, as Swagians, you want to be winning, so you can nick the military cleavers. You know, if I think
That's your best hope.
with this faction, with these two factions, if the Swagians start losing, I think they keep losing more often than not on a map like this anyway, where they can't bring the cav advantage to bear.
And they can't really even it up with crossbows too much either, really, because I mean it's so close. Like infantry have just ripped everyone to shreds. And actually, I mean Arnie, yeah, I mean he's been absolutely amazing for them. That great armor, just unstoppable, really.
Yeah, well, a nice spread of kills across the Russian team actually. I mean, you've got Arnie and Crash Day taking the top, but I mean,
Nico did a very good job actually. I mean, it can be sometimes difficult to navigate, as I guess Sultanus shown. It can be very difficult map sometimes for Cav if people are kind of focusing you, especially if you're the only Cav on your team.
yeah.
So I mean, Nico's shown how to do it, really kind of diving in on individuals, maybe blocking off for the kills, but not actually being too aggressive.
Yeah, just going around smacking people over and then just running through. That's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, being a pain in the ass.
Yeah. He's now jab lancing. Oh dear.
I'm surprised we didn't see more some of the Finns actually. I mean, I was expecting Russia to win, but I mean they've got some very good players. The Finns, like I kind of expect more from them, really. Well, hopefully we'll see a bit more in this second half.
Yeah, we'll have to see if it changes the balance at all. Well, I think the Russians are going to charge straight in for Graveyard, myself. I think they're going straight for it.
I could see that happening. The infantry advantage does lie with the Rodox though, so I mean maybe that aggression won't be rewarded in the same way.
But the 5 rounds up, so I mean if they can, you know, if they can maybe get in and get a kill against them on the Graveyard, and then because they probably do have the melee advantage overall in terms of player skill, from what I've seen.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Just I don't know, they can afford to actually take risks now, can't they? With such a big advantage.
Yeah.
Don't know if they want to though. I mean, it's always very nice to win a game 20-0, isn't it?
Yes, yes it is. Otherwise, I guess they'll just do a similar thing to what they did before. Just if they're not going to contest the Graveyard, then they'll probably just go to the alleys and then hold them, and then get ready to move out just before the flag.
We wonder if we'll be seeing Amy Webb in play this time.
Well, she's joined the team. I assume it's a she, otherwise it's a he. And if you don't want to be assumed it's a she, then you shouldn't take a female character with a female name, to be honest.
Looks like the Russians are ready to. Yep, right, and the Finns have okayed it.
Really though, I think this palm tree next to Graveyard is the most critical point in the whole map.
I agree. Very important.
If you don't hold this palm tree, you lose the entire game.
Definitely. I think it's just such a good choke point.
Put one guy just behind it, and no one can attack them. It's like
Man, it's basically minimal. Definitely. Alright, here we go.
once again I can move around without streamer status. But,
No, I can't now.
yeah, but you don't matter. So we're seeing a lot of swaps from the Finns. This might be a mistake. Oh, but the Russians haven't gone for Graveyard. They could have really caught him out there, though. The Russians... Oh no, this is not live, is it? Is it live?
Well, it looks like it.
Is it live? Yeah, it's live. What the? Didn't look live. Russians are camping their spawn. Finns have gone into graveyard.
I'm surprised.
Are they trying to like
Don't know.
just confuse the Finns?
You can see where we're at. The Russians gathering up. They're gonna do one of their little sorties pretty soon, I think.
Yeah.
I do like this tactic actually. It's entertaining to watch as well, I guess, which is always a bonus. Nice to see a little mob gathered up together.
It's nice to see who the hell is who with the shields as well. So often teams play with the individual banner packs, which you can't blame them for because it does help a lot. But hopefully there should be some changes to the ENL admin mod, which will allow us to actually show banners above people's heads, which will be a lot easier for the different teams.
Here we go. They're making their attack. And they're doing they're running. Oh no, are they going to contest? They will.
Yep, they're contesting both sides.
Completely making their expos on the stairs pointless.
Who have now been overtaken by people dropping.
Who have now been overtaken. Yeah. Sandora take a crash day, even things up slightly. Bogatyr takes up, and Bogatyr is having a whirl of a time at the moment. Arnie takes out Sir Mersu, Slink Zoltanus, and this is over. So Jetsu gets a nice kill, and he finishes off with killing Sandora, and it was a pretty slick round for the Russians, but you'd have to say once again, Finns tactically naive, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, not sure what the Russians gained from staying in the spawn there so long. Were they just trying to wait for the Finns to try and spread out or something?
It seems like they just kind of want to get happy camping, be happy campers, and then charge in and kick over their camping table and smash it in their face. To continue the metaphor. And they're doing it again. They've got nice shields now, and a few of them have military cleavers and even armor. I mean, Sujetsu, Bogatyr, and Slink all have pretty good armor now, and they're making an earlier charge this time. They have been spotted by the Finns, so if they use TeamSpeak, they should be able to warn them. Right, we got a few more in here this time.
And they're pulling back
Should
a bit.
be interesting. They're pulling back, yeah. I mean, they've got some very good infantry. I mean, we've got Axel, Monkey. I mean, they should be able to contend this quite nicely, yeah. I think that was a bit of a paradox. We got the team hit.
But the Russians simply didn't didn't go in at all until after their guys had gone on the ladder. They basically didn't try and really contest it. They just sort of hovered there until they'd got their guys on the ladder, and also on the ladder, their crossbow advantage on the stairs is gone.
That was how to take a graveyard.
Yeah. As I say, I'm not confident that the advantage for a graveyard is so massive, that you can't risk attacking it.
I agree. I mean, particularly those, if you can get expos on those stairs, it's actually quite vulnerable.
And we've got a two-hander now from Slink.
I'm hoping we'll see something different. I mean, they need to be trying something different than the Finns, perhaps actually attacking but perhaps when the Russians go forward, they should try to take them by surprise or something, actually, like push out, meet them, try and surround them, try and stop them where they're going before they can get organised, and actually prepare to surround and take their positions, because it's just turning into a massacre every time they try.
Yeah. And they're never having enough time to bring the crossbows to bear before the crossbows themselves are overwhelmed.
I mean, no, they've got... This doesn't look great, does it? Got a Slink with a nice little sword, and... No, I mean, there's more, but I can't see them winning this, to be honest. The Finns might have snowballed too far already, which is why, actually, I think the 4 rounds of the new NL is probably advisable.
I'll see you back in a second.
And the Russians making their Arnie goes in first. Are they going to contest? They're actually trying to fight him at the entrance here. And the Russians aren't being able to dive straight in. They're not going to be able to make those crossbows on the ladder pay. Monkey takes out Bogatyr. Could be a big kill, that. One of their key infantry. Cav pushing through. And then another Cav pushing through. So Slink takes Axel. Oh, Monkey, no. kills Paradoxa. Arnie takes out Crash Day. Few TKs here. Arnie takes out Sandora. Arnie's having a brilliant match here. Jab takes out Arnie. Certain Mercy goes down. Monkey takes out Slink, and this is getting in the way of the Finns, isn't it? Zoltana's lovely bit of cav work there. Monkey butchering his way through. And they do have the ability to do this. They've got some great infantry players. So, oh, Goltar, lovely hit there. Takes out Monkey. Oh, Demon X kills Jab. It's 2v2. Where did it go wrong? Oh! I don't fancy Zoltan's chances too much, to be honest. They could be in trouble. They've not got their greatest melee fighters left, and this is... Oh, Zoltanas takes out Goltar. Lovely bit of play there. Oh, they got him. They surely, this is the round. Lovely double hit there. Sujetsu, can he do it? Wouldn't put it past him. Playing quite quietly though, the Finns, just methodically. They got that X-Bar. He's in trouble now. Lovely shot by Demon X, and they secure the first round for the Finns.
And it certainly paid back for them, didn't they? They're actually being aggressive and not just falling back in front of the Russians.
I mean, what was actually telling is that they've kind of abandoned much of the graveyard, like because they were just getting attacked from both sides, and because the Russians were just getting exposed up on the ladder. They actually just decided they'd send all their infantry with their big board shields straight to the entrance, and they'd fight them.
Yeah, and now the Swazians have lost at least some of their equipment advantage that they'd been building up for the previous 2 rounds. And hopefully the Roddiks have gained some. Not too much by the look of it, but a bit perhaps.
Ooh. Yeah, well, we need someone investigating that, because that is... before even the sword has clashed. The Monkey did very well actually. I mean, he cut his way through a good few.
No. Hopefully, the Russians now change.
Which is good actually to see. They've been very astute actually, the Russians. I mean, even with that round they lost, I mean, they were a little bit unfortunate. I mean, the Finns got very untidy towards the end.
Yeah.
I think we saw TKs, I think in my opinion. It was very... ugh. Good to see the Finns get around there. It's all reinvigorate them. It was interesting actually. I mean, it wasn't quite a shield wall, don't get me wrong, but they were just tightly packed together, waiting for... And the Russians did try and attack, and they just got cut down. Basically, Monkey killed a few, and I think actually was it Finland's captain Jab took out Arnie, I think it was, and that really changed the fight, because he had the 200 sword and he was berserking his way through a few of them. They actually managed to take him out, and after that, it seemed to turn in their favour.
Yeah, it's a strange lack of pikes and hammers, though, I have to say.
I'm not surprised, yeah. You'd think with some of these players, I mean...
They've actually only got 3
Axel
infantry.
And Monkey are very good.
And none of them have, I think, Paradoxa
I can't see any hammers.
has just a war spear. But, I mean, the pike and the hammer are the best 2 support weapons in the Roddiks arsenal, to be honest. I don't know why they're not using them on a map like this.
Well, I think actually a pike on that, in that kind of shield crush we saw earlier, would have been incredibly devastating.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, just because, I mean, the hitbox on it's all messed up and slightly strange anyway, so you can actually just hit straight over them.
Yeah. And the hammer as well, of course.
Yeah, and the hammer's just absolutely wild to play against, especially when it's wielded by someone like Axel or Monkey or a few of these Finns actually. And they have got the players to make it really unpleasant for the Russians, so I mean hopefully we'll see them do a bit better.
Oh,
And that is a rather lovely master field for the
well,
Finns.
depends if they can take advantage of it.
Yeah, they've not really
And
defending it too
they've already
well.
1 man down, they've got to leave a man on the flag.
It's their cav there on the other side. And the Russians, are they going straight in or are they going to wait for the... Oh, the Russians, they're sending... You know, if the Finns react quickly enough, actually, they can go and get these... Nice shot there. Bogaty, he's on his own, though. This seems... The Russian, if they really need to start pushing. Might wait a bit too long here. And that cav's taken down. Lovely shot by Jab there to take out Nika. Crash Day takes out Sandora. So Mersu and Jab double teaming. Arnie takes out Paradox. Oh no! Very untidy there by Jab, takes out Sir Mercy. Finn Demon takes out Goltar. Slink and Brogadier secure 2 kills and this is over. Nice by Jab, but it's a fighting against a rising tide.
Just Demon left.
Yeah, I'm not looking for him in here.
No chance.
He's just
really.
a boy, look at him. So young.
The tragedy.
And he gets killed by Arnie.
The tragedy.
It looked like that could have gone either way. I mean, it was kind of close. They needed to take out those 2 infantry who had come in probably a bit prematurely for the Russians.
Yeah.
But I'm just tactically indecisive they've been, really, haven't they? The Finns been kind of too willing to camp and not willing enough to actually take command of a situation when the Russians have made a mistake.
I think also the Russians could have punished them a lot more because they've been having a lot of equipment swaps at the start the Finns have, and the Russians potentially could have rushed Graveyard in the time, and they're all spread out because of the equipment swaps. They could have really taken it actually if the Russians had stopped doing this delay tactic that they've been doing and just went for it at the start of the round. You know, I reckon they could really catch the Finns off guard and completely capture the Graveyard. The Finns would have no choice but to retreat or take casualties, don't know.
Yeah, well, their retreats have not exactly been glorious things. Napoleon's retreat from Moscow job.
Russians once again just gathered up.
Surely the Finns will have some kind of idea, because I mean, they've done this quite a lot now, the Russians.
They surely know what's coming, yeah. It's 9 rounds of it. But then again, last round the Russians played it straight again. You know, they didn't charge.
Monkeys playing aggressively. Oh no, the Finns are moving out actually towards the allies. They're pushing, the Russians are falling back now. If they get in just quickly enough, they could probably kill a few. And that cav is downed already, and you have to say that was a pretty big mistake. You can't be going offensive and just losing your cav like that.
No.
Still, they can actually inflict a few losses here. Mercy, oh, and another TK takes out Jab, Monkey there. The Finns are getting a few kills, but I mean, this needed to be a kind of... turning in a bit better for them. They did get them separated.
6 on 4,
Arnie
5 on 4.
Monkey, not so great. I mean, the idea was, and this is over, I'd say.
They didn't make
The
good their
idea for
advantage, though, did they?
was good. Well, just losing that cav that early on was completely wasteful, and then, I mean, it needed to be clean. They caught about 3 or 4 Russians out there, and they didn't make it pay, did they?
No. And they, well, I mean, also they had a 6 on 4 advantage there, and they threw it away.
And there's been a lot of Ks. I mean, it's not good to see, is it? There've been a lot of TKs for the Finns.
Yeah.
And it's particularly in an 8, even more so than like a 10v10 or a 16 versus 16.
Well, at least
In an 8v8, 1 TK is just gonna wreck them.
at least the Finns actually got more than 1 kill this set there.
Yeah.
They got around.
A few of those,
A
few of those rounds were closely considered, weren't they?
Yeah, and I think more than anything though, it's just the fact that when they were more successful, when they were aggressive, when they moved out, when they stopped letting the Russians just call the shots.
Yeah, yeah.
So what's the next
That
map?
last one wasted.
What's the
Well, I'm
next?
not sure, actually.
Ooh, let's find out. Be a mystery.
Alright, we got Snowbridge, Swadia versus Saranids.
Right.
Should be quite interesting, actually. I mean,
Saranid, I'd
the
say.
archers should be quite fun for that. Take the 60 arrows, a bit of better range. Should be, yeah, you'd have to say the Saranids had an advantage. And it's actually a very different map from Sandy Bush, isn't it? So hopefully we'll see a bit of a different kind of result.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly less of an infantry heavy map. Still can be quite a bit of infantry on that though. But I think
They're no slouches at archery, though. That's the problem, the Russians. They're not exactly one-trick ponies. I'm just going to grab a drink.
Okie dokie. Let's see the ugly face competition. See if we can find any really ugly players. That means the good melee players. Monkey's quite ugly, of course. So I'm guessing we're not live. Nope. So Swadians with this spawn. That probably works in the Swadians' favour actually, because this hill's probably better for crossbows than that one. This one's better for archers, I believe. The crossbows can also move in directly into the village there as well.
And I have returned.
I was saying, I think that's the what do you call it? The spawns possibly balance it a bit, because I reckon the barn spawn is a bit better for the crossbow team compared to the hill spawn.
I'm interested to see how this goes. Like, this map can be played so differently, can't it? Because sometimes actually you end up with a kind of close quarters combat in the village, and it can kind of just devolve into a bit like just a series of skirmishes throughout the village, or it often ends up with just one team camping on the flag and camping on the big hill, just waiting for the flag.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested to see how it goes. Hopefully it'll be the first kind of skirmish one, but we'll see.
Both teams are good cav teams, though.
Yeah, yeah. I think probably the Russians have the stronger cav. But I mean, we'll see it both. But Nico was it who was doing it. It was fantastic, but bump for us actually. Really unpleasant to fight against that if you're an infantry. Like you just don't know what to do sometimes.
Well, not unless you have a pokey stick.
No. Yeah. Indeed.
Now we're locked. I guess it doesn't really matter though, because it's not going to be live, is it?
I'll ask because we're gonna have another restart, aren't we?
Quite like this map actually. It's one of my favourite ones. Didn't really play like the others.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan, to be honest. It's just too long, and there's too many people just camp on the hills. Too many flag spawns.
But
although the flag spawns are often quite entertaining on this map.
I don't know, even if you do camp on the hill, I find there's quite a few ways you can approach the hill and sort of get good flanking shots off, and the wide lines of sight mean that you can get separate groups moving around quite safely, really, as long as you give them some spear coverage or cav coverage.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I think warbanders in general actually have kind of deluded themselves somehow that this camping is the way forward and anything else is kind of suicidal. So I guess it's not necessarily the map, it's how people perceive, like, how to use the map.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got archers on top of a hill, sure you can spread them out. If you charge in a big group towards them, you can get slaughtered because it's going to envelop you and then shoot you from all sides. But all you have to do is, well, not all you have to do, but a way to take it down is just to use some of the other features around, get a nice surround on those archers, and then go up and engage them, and then they won't be anything like they as happy about it. You know,
No.
I don't think there's any position on this map which is completely defendable, really. Except maybe Barn, which is a suicidal place to go, really, isn't it? But
Yeah.
more of a troll tactic than anything else. But you know, there's no because it's so open. There's no real perfect kill zones like you'd get on some maps. I mean, some maps like Port Assault, there are some definite places which have pretty big advantage. in terms of their defensive locations. So you can get archers set up and it gives you a pretty overwhelming force multiplier because of the locations of those archers. This map though, you know, you can get force multipliers, but because of the way you position your archers, but you generally have to be positioned in quite larger distances between them. And you also have the possibility, there's plenty of possibility for people to build up their own sort of archer setups, which give them, you know, the surrounding firepower. If you've got two archers like the hill I'm looking at here, and then we'll have a hill over there, maybe the one over there, you can threaten anyone up on the hill quite effectively, because you're shooting from like a 90-degree angle, even down at the house there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the problem is when they actually just stand behind the crest of the hill.
Yeah, but they're not going to be able to
Can
hit.
be kind of difficult.
They can't hit anything at those ranges, really.
No.
You know, those long-range archer duels very rarely have, and those super long-range ones anyway, very rarely have any kills related to them. You know, it's usually you can't really hit at that range, to be honest, against someone who's seen you. Maybe only someone who's standing still and hasn't seen you. We need streamer status.
I'm gonna give him a sec to see if he does it, and then I'll ask.
There we go.
Wait.
Okay, so the Finns are starting as it sounds, immediately deploying up onto the hill.
See Axel taking now. Very nice bump slasher, actually.
Yeah, so the Finns have 3 cav? Do they? Yes, looks like.
I think 2 cav Russians, is it? I can only see 2. Shadow and Nissa.
Russians have got a little team over here, and I have to wonder, they've put an infantry next to a crossbow, and the infantry does not have a pike, or anything. I wonder what he's actually going to achieve being next to that crossbowman, really. It'd look better to have him, you know, providing coverage against a cav. And we've got main group on top of the hill. So it looks like,
I wonder what he spent. So carry on.
It looks like they're just trying to set up to hope for the Finns come down, but otherwise they're just going to shoot from a few places. Yep, so they've got the crossbow moving up to get us around, you see?
And we'll see how it plays out, I guess. Should be.
No. There's always that lovely little moment when an archer doesn't see you, and you know an archer will always fire and then move, and fire and move, and he'll get comfortable, because he can see someone who he's shooting at, and he's dodging him, and then you just sit there with a crossbow waiting for them to do the fire and then move, and you shoot at them in the head. It's so easy. I swear it's how I get half my kills as crossbowman against archer teams. Finns don't seem to have any sort of concerted plan, once again playing really defensively. Are they wanting the Russians to come up here? Well, certainly don't.
Like, I mean,
if you look at the distance
safe
as
there.
well between like these two over here, the Russians over here, compared to the Russians on the other hill, it's a huge distance, but they're not really threatened. You know, I mean, at this point, even if the Finns immediately started charging towards these two, well, actually, they're in trouble because they don't have a pikeman. If the cav went after them, they'd be in quite a bit of trouble, actually. In fact, they may well be in trouble right now. But, yep. Looks like the cav's coming to help. But if they'd had a pikeman, they certainly could have retreated quite effectively against enemy attack there. Because the infantry and archers just don't have time to catch up.
yeah, flag should be spawning fairly soon. I'll be interested to see how this goes. Russians playing kind of passively, actually, and it isn't the kind of map where you can just rush in.
Very good.
I didn't mean that.
They seem to be taking pot shots at the cav. They've got no chance of hitting him.
Amy Webb's horse is probably not in great shape.
And there's a flag. Now this will favour the Russians in my opinion because of the way they've got their guys set up in their surrounds.
Yeah, but I mean, some archers, Sandor and Mercy have some pretty nice views down onto the flag. I mean, they are kind of quite probably too far away to kill anyone, but it's not really fun being a Swardian on that flag.
No.
Especially if he gets your shield broken by Cav. No! Oh no, that was
My word.
horrific.
Oh dear.
And that was one of their Cav on.
2 of the cav down.
And really
now,
fancy their chances anymore.
no, they're
Crash
done
Day
already.
takes out Produxora.
They needed those cav.
Shadow takes out, and Axel's taken out by Crash Day. Crash Day's having fun. Yeah, this is over.
And they had them there. They did have the Russians, I think, if they'd managed to actually stab them rather than this ally. But I think they could have probably snowballed it. I mean, the crossbowmen probably make quite a bit of difference, but even so,
Wasted, really, wasn't it?
they've got the archer down at the house and on the hill, and they were doing quite a good job. They haven't died yet either.
Nice bit. Crash Day have no wear time.
Oh. So that 720 spin by Crash Day.
Poor Sir Mercy.
Yeah, it's over.
And Arve takes him down. Presumably you say Arve. Ave.
Ave, yeah.
Oh, many TKs really. You kind of hope for better, really, don't you?
Yeah, so the Russians actually have 3 cav, don't they? 3 crossbows and 2 infantry. Pretty standard build in this map, actually, I guess. But
And they have that infantry who can just, I mean, they cause all sorts of problems like Crash Day, people like Crash Day and Tarot. Just simply just don't, I mean, they're quite conservative until they just double hit and double hit and double hit and double hit, and it's devastating, and it takes out even really, really high quality players. I mean, you can take out anyone with that kind of
yeah,
tactic.
it looks like the Finns are trying to duel back on the Russian cav to some degree. Maybe get a few kills. Or at least damage the horse a bit.
The Russians are going up. The Russians are going to try and take this hill.
Oh, is this a
They don't want
distraction?
another
Is this a
flag
very
spawn.
cunning distraction by the Russians?
They get over the crest of the wood, these expos, and they could cause a lot of pain actually.
I think the Finns are going to be
Will they
surprised
see
in a
them?
second. Oh, they've seen them now.
Crash is crashed.
Oh dear. Was he a cav
And the
or an infantry?
I think he was an infantry,
That's going to hurt them more.
and he was actually one of their best. Actually, he got 3 kills in the last round, and they're actually out now. And these Goltar already tagged one, and these crossbows could cause a bit of a nightmare here for the archers.
I don't know. I think the Russians are out of position myself. They were the cav. They don't have them.
But I mean, we've seen it before where the
Oh no, they are
Finns
there.
don't seem to take advantage of this, and they're just going to retreat. And I mean, they could take a loss. I mean, Goltar is here. Jans is playing now. Actually, very nice crossbow. Even Jans, there you go, takes out Sandora.
So they're trying to focus down the cav, but it's not happening, is it? And the infantry and crossbows are just in it behind them. Got that nice double hit there.
Axel takes out Shadow there. That's that cavalry. I mean, they hopefully they can bring this back. Monkey, Monkey making up for it. Takes out Amy Weapon. That's impressive, really, from Monkey. I'm not sure if he is a full-time cav, but taking out Amy Webb, who certainly is. Tarek looking very isolated here, and he's got someone behind him, but who's this? Paradoxora with a axe here, just going to smash that shield down, keep smashing away. And once these shields are down, the Russians will be in trouble.
I have to wonder
You
what
think?
Mr. Boston's doing with that. That's
Nice by
Bamboo
Paradoxora.
should have had an axe out there. Oh,
Paradox Axel there, double kill here, taking out Messi and Tarek. Very nice play there. He's got 3 kills this round, I think, and now 4 kills. Lovely round for Axel there, and great round for them as a whole. Actually, and it was like you said. Actually, I mean, you did point out the Russians did look out of place.
Yeah, I think their cav just weren't able to really to actually get in and help, so the cav were separated from the infantry, and then they're simply not as effective. You know, they can't get up the hill really quick behind them, whereas the Soundhead cav were all up on top of the hill. Or at least they were staying close, and of course they're more manoeuvrable anyway. And
Yeah, I guess actually, and that manoeuvrability, it will be helpful in this kind of map where there is a lot of dodgy terrain and there is a lot of kind of, well, manoeuvring to be done.
Well, the manoeuvring is going to be more useful than the speed on the slopes anyway.
Yeah.
Axel's got a warhorse now. Let's find out what the Russians are doing. And they seem to be going back to the tactic they used in the first round rather than moving directly up the hill.
Probably sensible.
Yeah.
I mean, the Russians. I mean, they could have probably won that. I mean, the Finns did. I mean, they did dally for a bit. There probably was a window of opportunity in which they could have possibly pounced, but they took too long, and the Finns just swept them up, really.
Yeah, I think. Well, once the Russians lost their cav, that was quite a devastating blow. Ooh, hello. Something over here. I thought the Finns were going to move out with their cav there, but they decided not to.
Goltar's getting into that kind of trench area. Yeah. I've seen this before actually when I fought the Russians in the nations five-a-side. They kind of just got loads of expos into this area. Well, loads in a 5v5, but like, and they actually made life very difficult for archers on top of that hill.
Yeah,
and it's also a good position to push the hill.
Nice to see the infantry there has an ore pike now. I'll probably do a lot of good. Lesson. I mean, a single ore pike armed infantry can slow down like 2 cav at least, you know.
Yeah, it causes a lot of damage, can't they?
Yeah, much more tricky proposition than going in against someone who doesn't have one.
Particularly if they're competent bump slashers or bump thrusters. I mean, it makes it virtually impossible to deal with. It's a lot of jumping around.
Yeah. I think if the flag comes up in any of the 2 of the lowest flag spawns, it's probably in the Russians' advantage. If it comes up on the hill, it should be in the Finns' advantage. Although that position with the crossbowmen, I'd probably want to be moving out as the Finns toward try to push them off that little ridge there before the flags happen, because you don't want to leave them there when the flags arrive.
Yeah, it will be pretty. Oh, hang on, then. Goltar's retreating from that position, which I think is a bit strange, to be honest.
The Finns have backed off completely.
Both playing very tough. I think Russians kind of regretting that kind of little bit disorganised attack they launched. So probably hoping for a bit of a cleaner round. Actually backing off a lot. They seem to be heading towards the barn.
Don't know how this is going to help.
Goltar, barn cap.
This means flag in 30 seconds or so, isn't it? They're going to be well out of position, the Russians.
What's fair? If it spawns on the hill, then they will definitely regret moving Goltar.
Then the other group's moved as well. They're backing off all the way to the other hill. Oh, hang on. That's interesting. Very fortunate flag position, really, wasn't it? Considering the position.
Yeah, yes.
Bit suspicious. I mean,
it's not massively advantageous for both sides.
I was just wondering about the fact that the Russians moved off to very strange locations and then happened to have the flag appear there. But I don't know.
I'm sure it's nothing. I mean, it's not massively advantageous for either side.
No.
Oh, he's in a bit of trouble there. I managed to get the knockover, which was important because Slink had stopped him there.
Oh.
Oh, Russ takes out Sandora. Ave takes out Monkey. Yeah, not looking great, is it? Nice bump slash there by Shadow. I think this will be cleaning up now. He's got his Warhorse Axle. It takes a lot of damage, but probably not enough. And as much as I like Bamboo Spear, I'm not sure that Mr. Boston's tactic of using it like that is the best.
How was he doing that again?
Yeah.
And to be honest, against horses like hunters and war horses, you're not even going to be able to kill them with a bamboo spear unless they're charging at full speed. You know, it'll just bounce off a war horse. That won't even do any damage. It'll stop it, at least. So maybe if you've got allies around, you can get the kill in that way. Oh, and Axel lost his war horse. Oh, very nice, Axel. And Russia got it, but he stayed alive.
Oh, is he going to stay alive?
He's lost most of his money anyway through the war horse, but maybe you can get another one. I don't know. Looks like he's buying. Oh no, looks like he's lost it. This is a very familiar setup now.
Yep, same old.
Once again, the Finns have been extremely passive and just staying up on the hill, and I don't think it's really gained them much. I don't know. I really don't think it's gained them much at all.
No.
Those crossbowmen who are sitting on the central hill will not be able to effectively support for very long until they get closer. Then if the Russians who move up on this side, don't look like the Russians are doing it this time. They've stayed at the smaller hill, but
Actually, the Finns seem to... Are they moving so at mercy there? With Paris Doctor?
they're a bit spread out. No real.
Yeah. I mean, spreading out kind of matters a little less on this map, in my opinion, just because you can see people coming from miles away.
It's true. Although with Cav, you know, you don't want to spread out against the Cav because you get a lone archer, 2 Cav take him out in no time.
I think that's probably we're seeing these kind of infantry escorts for their expos. And actually, I assume this is Goltar moving up with. I'm not sure. Crash Day? No, Crash Day's not playing, is he? Slink and moving up into that position again. Actually, the Saranids, the Finns have cav up there. They'll probably be able to contest it. Russians moving up their cav to help. Oh, it's getting nasty for them though. Goltar gets shot. He's got his expert art.
The Russians
They're going to get pressured here.
The other Russians need to be moving up to help quick as well.
Ooh, and Monkey was very close to taking someone out then. Oh, they're getting a bit mixed up the Saranid cav. Monkey bumps him.
There's one.
And Slink gets taken out by Monkey, and that seemed inevitable really. I mean, they just got divided there. And
yeah, and the cav just can't do enough to stop them.
oh, nice paradox. So it takes out Goltar. Can't see him lasting too long.
The Russians really shouldn't have gone in then when they saw the Saranids coming. They should have moved off quicker.
A little bit. I think I'm going to take rest. It's getting a bit messy. They're just going to keep pushing.
This is not good. The Saranids cav are way too out of position. It's charging
They're
against.
pushing. Monkey attacks on this. I don't know if this is a good idea. Jab managed to take out Tarok there. I mean, they're pressing their advantage home. Anyway, takes out Jab. I mean, it's... Oh, Sandora team kills Axel.
Only 5 against 4.
They've pushed too hard. I mean, they didn't need to push that hard. So Mercy, nice shot there. Take out Shadow. Shield was broken.
Yeah, I mean...
And they've gotten pretty nicely surrounded here, actually. Expos aren't going to be able to go.
Cav need to be pressuring them now.
Expos aren't.
Knocking them over,
Take
breaking
out
the
that
shield.
shield.
Yeah.
You'd have to say he's in an acre of trouble now.
No, you should get your lance and do it again. Oh, and taking out the cav as well.
Cav's on.
That's it.
Nice kill there, Monkey. Monkey's been very nice presence so far in this round, actually. He's going for him. Doesn't manage to take him out, but I mean, his beat seem to be everywhere at once, Monkey.
Yeah. Oh, and I really think that I think Monkey shouldn't have been doing that, to be honest. Pursuing that crossbowman alone. You're best off with support class.
Nice slide in there. And they'll just be finishing off Arve, who's putting quite the effort in actually. It's quite impressive. Gonna get shot soon, but Boston takes him out of the axe, deciding to forbey his bamboo spear this time.
So a bit more contested this this map, hasn't it? 2-2 so far.
Yeah.
Although looking at the scores, I think the Russians have won already.
This is they're rushing the cav spam here actually, they're all just hiding in the barn.
Oh god, really? God, they are, aren't they?
Should be quite entertaining.
I assume the Finns will be able to scout with their cav. Oh, they've got one guy who's gone on top of the hill. Is this like a decoy? To make him think
the
that...
Finns may wonder where the rest of the 7 players are.
Yeah, I'm guessing they're sending a cav as scouts rather than...
Do you think Tower actually just didn't change in time?
I don't know. Maybe it's like some part of some clever deception.
Tarek's running off on his little adventure. And he's been spotted by the club now. I don't imagine I'll be able to bait them in with one person.
I don't know, it is attractive though, isn't it, going after one guy who's on his own?
I don't think it's that, it's when you can't see 7 others.
I'd like to know what the Finns are thinking now.
It's a bit, I don't know, I'm not sure about CAD spam on this map, I don't know how effective it is really. I mean, for some of the flags it's great, but a few expos might cause a bit of trouble.
With some pikes, yeah.
With some pikes, yeah, and Bambiers actually, I guess we'll see a lot of.
As I say, the Russians have won now at this point with 11 points to 3, so...
Yeah, congratulations, Russians. Off to a good start in this lap, I'm sure they'll go very far. And actually, I mean, Finland could, they could do well actually. I mean, we've seen like individual skill from them in this. It's been a bit tactically indecisive.
There are a lot of, you know, not a terrible amount of ugly Russian players, are there? They're all quite good looking, really.
That's a shame, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
To have to see such handsome faces.
I mean, it is really an art form, making ugly faces in Mount and Blade, isn't it? You know.
So Mercy's done a very good job actually of making that kind of grotesque looking character.
Can't see much of the rest of the Finnish team though, because of the what do you call it? Turbans. Well, not turbans.
Demon's not much of a, but he's more weird looking than actually ugly, I guess. And the inevitable wait when someone does a cow spam.
At least the Finns are actually tentatively going in with the cav now. Oh, and here comes the cav spam. Deploying early. Only 3 of them actually. What are they up to?
Do you reckon that maybe they're just on bases? Are they moving up towards the other flag? It's probably wise spreading out to stop any stragglers getting to the flag early.
Yeah. Oh, and it's turned up.
And it's on the hill, so they are in trouble. This is, I mean, it's not a great place for the and not a great place for the Russians. This. I mean, they should be right when they go up there. When it's relatively flat up there, I guess. There's still a lot of hills.
I'll see how they do. I think the archers aren't going to be very effective. It'll take them too long to take down that many hunters.
Yeah. Thought so.
Maybe if they get a few headshots. There's the first one down.
Yeah, they're looking a little bit wider here, the Russians. Are they making his first run through? Tries bump smashing.
But the Russians are on top now.
Are these horses stopped?
The archers are going to be completely...
Oh, yeah, oh, nasty. And that is just good cav spam work actually by the Russians actually, and they got the infantry moving up here to presumably take the flag. Gultar takes out Sandora. Axel gets a kill, but it's fighting a losing battle here. We Webb takes out Monkey in that, and then Miser finishes it up by killing Jab. That's good. I mean, it's often quite effective, and you just saw why Cav Spam can be effective there. Just overwhelmed them, didn't they?
Yeah. It's got another Cav Spam. Oh, this is the last round, isn't it, for the set? So, final set, I think. Current scores are 12-3, I think. I think it's surprising, really, when you look at it, that every time the Finns have pushed and been successful, you know, every time they've been aggressive, really aggressive, they seem to have been rewarded for it, and yet they keep being passive. You know what I mean? It's just they keep falling back onto these passive defensive tactics that don't seem to be working, and
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, I'm glad that Russia's aggression's been rewarded. But I mean, like you said, I think Finland. I mean, they've been a bit tactically naive, but actually we have seen some good play from them, particularly on this map. They were kind of unfortunate on a few of the other ones. I mean, Cav Spam, there's not. I mean, that can go either way. There's not really too much they could have done about that.
no.
I mean, we've again seen probably a few too many TKs from them, but in general, I mean, Axel and Monkey. I mean, Monkey's probably taken a few too many risks, but he's actually. I mean, he's been a presence in most of the rounds, taking out a few. Axel's just killed. And particularly, I mean, the Russians do have some great calves, so they've actually done very well to compete as they have with them. I know Axel isn't full-time cav. I'm not sure about a few of the other guys on the Finnish team, but I'm pretty sure Monkey is the infantry. So I don't know. They've done well considering they're fighting actually full-time, top-quality, like cavalry players.
Yeah, and I mean, as you say, they couldn't have. There aren't many teams that are equal or better than the Russians, are there? So.
No. They're a very, very strong team. Made a few tactical mistakes. I mean, like their opponents will take heart from some of these later rounds actually, where they've made a few mistakes. They've been a little bit indecisive. And actually, I mean, they've tried the same thing over and over again and haven't really been punished it for by the Finns. And I think other teams might be able to punish them more quickly and more decisively than perhaps they have been today.
Yeah, I mean, this moving people off on the side, I mean, it can work, but I think they're perhaps a bit too far, maybe separated from any support over there, and they didn't recognise early enough when to retreat. They were staying up over next to this lumpy bit of rock on the left side far too long, and so when they did start retreating, it was too late anyway. They had 3 cav and an archer and an infantry coming down upon them, and the 2 cav can't really do much to help the archer and infantry defend themselves. It would have been even worse if they'd been attacked in that position when they were on the first round when they didn't have a pike, but... So we go for the last leg. And we seem to only have 7 Finns. Who are we missing? Monkey? Oh, it's not live, apparently.
We're not live, are we?
No, he said not live.
Good.
Charlie is waiting for Monkey. I have to say though as well, I mean, I think the Finns probably have the ping advantage. Looking at it now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, certainly, actually, they've got some pretty nice pings there, and Russians, generally, a few over 100. Generally pretty good, actually. I mean, 50 feet is pretty good, that's usually what I play with, to be honest, but... I mean, they have got over 80, which is not ideal.
No, I mean, the I mean, ideally you'd want between 20s and 50s. That's the sort of like sweet spot. But then after that, 50s to maybe 80s is sort of like, well, it's still fine, you know. 80s to 100s, you're getting trouble now. And then 100 and 120, it's like the final area of ping that you're able to use before you're screwed. Although Gultar seems to be playing with 140 ping.
He's quite used to it, isn't it? Every time I see him, he's got a pretty woeful ping. He seems to do pretty well anyway.
I guess maybe the, well, maybe you can do well enough with it if you use it all the time.
Yeah. Well, he's a crossbow as well, isn't he? So, I mean, it's a little easier than fighting in melee constantly.
Yeah, I mean, range has the least disadvantage from... Can I move? No. Waiting for stream.
We'll see. I'll wait for him to us soon. Probably wants to spawn first.
Yeah, he's only just spawned. I can hear cavalry moving around, that's about it.
Alright, I'll ask him.
There we go.
There we go.
So we have the Finns on top, the Russians on top of the hill this time even. And the Finns, not sure what they're doing actually.
You want to see ugly? Check jab. That is ugly. Kind of angry and ugly.
Finns seem to be doing like very similar tactics to what the Russians did.
No, Russians seem to be happy to sit on the hill, which is kind of, yeah, it often goes this way, this map really, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, as Archer faction you would want to be on the hill, because the houses will favour the crossbows. So...
Crash Days made his... He's been very, very good actually.
You just got hit on that cav there. Yep, and if you're just taking a shot.
Yeah, happy to camp again. This is why I dislike this map, to be honest, because it too often just turns into a camp fest.
I suppose so.
I mean, I guess, like I was saying earlier, it's not necessarily the map, it's just the way people play the map.
Yeah.
It is hard. It's a good map to be really aggressive on. I mean, you can attack the hill, but you have to be pretty well coordinated to make it work. I mean, if you want to send people around the side or people around the back, people on the hill can just react quite quickly and actually see you a mile off and try and kill you as you come up. And when they start raining arrows down on crossbow bolts down on infantry come up the hill, those shields won't last that long.
No. And their cav support.
And the unplugged cav support, whereas the cav of the attacking force, I mean, they've got to climb up the hill. I mean, we saw it work as a cav spam, but when it's just one or two horses, they can get quite easily.
I said that the Russians are now doing something. Let's see what's happening. You'll be deploying the cav forwards. And the Finns are spread out all over the far side of the map. They're very, very spread out. They've got people in the village, they've got people on the left side of the hill, they've got people on the hill.
Are we going to see a bit of an engagement here?
Oh, and they've backed off at just the wrong time.
This should be quite a place for the flag to spawn from a neutral perspective. Monkey's eyeing our archer. You can see he's just got a cheeky eye on him. Is he going to go around and try it? Nope. Forced away by the Russian cavalry.
The Russians have moved in.
Oh, Monkey really wants to get this. Oh, lovely there. Takes out Rurik there. Well, I mean, I don't think that was the primary target, but I don't think he'll be too upset. All gets stuck. He's going to make his second round. He's going to really go for that. Mercer takes out Paris Doctor. or however you say the name. And this, oh, lovely shot by Jans there, taking out Monkey, and Mr. Boston takes out Shadow.
And the
And
well, the Russians
great
actually
work
lost
by
from that
Jans.
cav, actually.
Yeah, but Mr. Monkey took out Shadow, I think it was.
They need to have some people going in and contesting that flag, so the cav can do something about this infantry.
Yeah.
I don't know what is this infantryman doing, Mr. Boston? He's
I'm gonna chill him. Sir Mercy, nice kill on Crash Day there. Ooh, that's an important kill actually. And now they're looking kind of weak on the flag, the Russians.
well, but they've lost on the
Can they make it pay?
cav, another infantry.
Dora down by Mace. Jab though takes out Jans. It's one less support they have. Always got his duelist. I saw him in additions later. He's changed his mind there. We see Axel coming up. Sir Mercer's Goltar takes out Axel there, and that was a nice kill, and could actually prove to be quite important. I mean, if this carries on much longer, they need to take out nice there by
the flag's already there.
Some flag's already there. Didn't react quite clear enough to say Mr. Boston probably needed to push a little hard. In fact, it's not just him, it's unfair to single him out. They didn't contest quickly enough, did they?
No, and the Russians had, and the thing is, that they'd fallen back, and the Russians had positions there. I don't know what falling back really got them at that stage, because they're giving up the hill flag, they're giving up positions that encapsulate that flag. So I suppose maybe they're betting on it being on the other one, but yeah, it's a 1 in 3 chance. Whereas they're giving us.
I presume they had some kind of idea that, I don't know, they were going to gather up or something, ready to move out if it was somewhere else. But then it spawned somewhere they didn't need to do that, and it's kind of just ended up being counterproductive.
Hey, and you sort of saw there that the Russians were sort of, they weren't just sitting on top of the hill. Actually, they were moving down into the other hills, trying to get shots. But they're doing it again with a little archer on the right. And it's just meaning the Finns can't move up without contesting it and risking themselves.
I mean, I'd have to say actually. I mean, Monkey was unlikely to be taken out by Jans, and I think perhaps if Monkey had taken out Jans in that move, probably would have been a bit stronger, because actually they would have had that cavalry to put a bit more pressure on the archers, and they would have had an extra crossbow freed up to kind of, they needed to get those expos starting to really pour some fire on those archers, because those archers made an absolute nightmare for anyone trying to stand on the flag, especially after they had nearly capped it.
Yeah, needed some pressure on them. You needed a crossbow on the hill, just keep shooting at them in the air. We are indeed.
Hello, Amy. I'm hip, so I stay still.
I wonder if we're going to see anything new there in these last few rounds.
Do you think some kind of Finland will test some new ideas, maybe? May as well.
Yeah, you may as well. But doesn't look like they will, does it? Seem happy to sit there.
And Giltar's in a pretty place here, actually. Just gonna hang about. Make life difficult for any expos who want to kind of surround that flag area.
Well, this is what I was saying. It basically eats into their nice little position there, doesn't it? And it's a lot more important to get those covered positions for the crossbows to reload.
Yeah.
Hello, the Russians have moved out towards that house, which is not too bad a position to take, really, when you think about it, because it puts them in striking range of all 3 flags.
Yeah, and their cav has. Actually, their cav hasn't performed perhaps as well as I thought it would.
Oh, flag on the hill, though.
And yeah, well, I mean, the Russians have kind of They've put themselves in a position which is perhaps not ideal, but I mean they still have an advantage, you'd have to say.
Yeah, I mean, ooh, the Russian cav, Finland's...
A few of them looked like they were out there, nice by Shadow actually to get a kill there, when actually the Russian cav looked in a bit of trouble.
I think the Finns cav are way out of position here, engaging there.
Yeah, looks like it. I think they were just trying to slow down those archers. And the Finns are looking kind of split up here. And actually, look, I mean, you can see Goltar is just raining fire down on their sides, making it very difficult. Oh, a lovely headshot by Goltar there, takes out Sota Mercy.
Look at that horrible
Fantastic
crossfire
shot,
there.
absolutely
The archer on...
fantastic shot.
That's a
Shadow,
perfect...
nice bump smash.
That's almost a perfect
That's
crossfire.
brilliant, isn't it? Yeah.
You can't get better than that, really.
I mean, that's very nice play by the Russians, you'd have to say. Good job by Gultar, their leader, if he is actually leading them in a tactical sense as well.
Yeah, if you look at the
That is
locations that the archers were at as well, they're at positions where Cav would not be able to get to them very easily. You know, it wouldn't be sort of a quick run in, kill them, or run in, annoy them and run away sort of thing. They're stuck on top of hills, quite annoying hills as well.
Really, I mean, that round in particular, I mean, the Russians have been excellent tactically throughout this game, but that round in particular, I mean, that really shows. Well, I mean, that was brilliant tactical sense. Like, absolutely, like, fantastic, making that position virtually untakeable unless they were able to put pressure early. I mean, they probably the Finns needed to remove Goltar from that position because otherwise it's just.
Yeah, they needed someone or perhaps two people going up and taking that position first before they went in because, yeah, death trap. You can't ignore distributed archers like that.
It was great work by the Russian. I mean, it was a valiant effort by the Finns and Demon. I mean, he's keeping them ticking over, getting a few kills here. Does some nice shots, but this just doesn't look like it's going to be enough. And I think one of the problems the Finns have had actually, like they've had some decent individual performances, just not at the same time. They seem to be taking it in turns to kill loads of people, but never quite enough.
We've got some Finnish cav here.
Demon X, very nice equipment.
Bit of a risk, these cav duels.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, I guess they must be quite confident that they're stronger in that kind of respect.
I have to say I do like the new 16 round setup rather than the 20 round. I think 20 round's a bit too long.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you.
16 just feels right somehow. It's the lack of like another 20 or 30 minutes of play.
Yes, I think these matches are probably a little too long, really, aren't they? I mean, the outcome of this was decided a long time ago.
Yeah, we're still playing.
And we are still playing, and I mean, it probably does feel like a bit of a waste of time for the Finns now. I'm not 100% sure how the playoff system is going to work in the Nations Cup. I know there's been a little bit of a debate about how people want it to proceed, because I don't think it's like a third best or anything like that. I think there's going to be a playoff system, and I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure round difference is coming into it, which means Finland may as well take some risks and may as well try some new ideas.
And crossbows just aren't going to hit crap at this range. Neither are archers, to be honest, at this ranges.
No, I mean, you wouldn't have thought.
Might as well save your ammo.
Yeah.
Or move into a position where you can actually shoot them.
I think something noticeable again, actually, I mean, we've seen it from the Russians throughout the game, it's actually the kills have often been quite evenly spread amongst them, which it's a good sign for a team, actually, I think. It's never great when one team just has hundreds of kills, one player, sorry.
Indeed.
User was moved out of your channel. Was moved out of your
And that was Motus and Mori being very mature.
Yeah.
No.
User was moved out of your channel. User was moved out of your channel. User joined your channel.
Oh, great way, can you go?
User was moved out of your channel. Joined your channel. User was moved
This is
out of your
fantastic.
channel. User was moved to your channel. You were user was moved out of your channel. You were
Go.
Get back in here. Stay.
User left your channel.
What are...
We're streaming, man.
The
To your
message.
channel.
Oh.
User was
Oh.
kicked out of your channel. User left
Are you
your
guys streaming?
Yes.
channel. You were moved.
Okay, I think that's... Oh my god. Alright, anyway, the match. Demon takes out Jans, very nice there actually.
User joined your channel.
Very nice by Jans is taken out actually. Monkey also downed, Axel down Jans though. Very important player for the Russians. Will we see? I mean, this looks like a replay of what happened last round, doesn't it?
Aye. So
Goltar takes out Mersu, and this, I mean, this not looking great for the Finns, is it?
No. Well, the Russians are holding the flag anyway, so it's going to be over pretty soon, unless the Finns get someone in there. Four against five, not, you know, you can take that back. But what is that bell sound?
And I don't know. Yeah, I mean the Finns were they were a little bit unfortunate there with the flag spawn, but they haven't really had enough action to try and make stuff happen. The Russians have been very good in that. They've kind of pushed out and they've actually pushed themselves into very, very nice positions. And I know you said it was suspicious earlier, but I actually think they're just covering their lots quite well. We've seen it time and time again where they moved that cav round to the house ready, and it wasn't immediately beneficial for them. But if the flag had spawned there, they would have been at an advantage. And we've seen it a few times, and particularly where actually Goltar gets into a fantastic position for two of the flags. I mean, if it spawns on the hill, he can pressure from there, and if it spawns down in that kind of valley area, he can cause absolute havoc. So it's very nice from the Russians tactically. I think the Finns have been a little unlucky, but been tactically outdone here, really.
Well, I think that it probably was just coincidence, as you say. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see the Finns doing something else, trying something, because you know, if you're losing when you're doing the same tactic over and over again, change it. Obviously, either you're doing something wrong with what you're doing, or the tactic itself is unsound. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen that when the Finns were able to be aggressive and fight back against the Russians more effectively, they were able to get kills, they were able to win rounds. You know, I mean, when they pushed out on the Sandy Bush, they were able to win rounds. When they pushed out and punished the Russians for sending the two up here, where the Finns are now going, they were able to win the round. So
Yeah. I mean, when they have been aggressive, though, they've been forced to be aggressive. It seemed to me like it was rarely that they had some grand strategy to be aggressive. It's more that the Russians kind of push them into a corner, and once or twice they have just decided to charge out.
I don't think it's just about being aggressive, though. I think, you know, I mean, if the defensive tactics can work just as well, but if you're not making them pay off, you know, if you're getting caught out by them, then you need to change something with them. So they need to do something other defensive tactics as well. Maybe not just be more aggressive.
Yeah, you're right.
And so I think the Finns' retreat here was a bit better than the Russians in the same situation.
Jab goes down anyway, and that's that Cav Goltar getting another kill, and Goltar is having a...
It was good up
Where
into
the
the point
time
where they
really-
stopped there. They stopped to fight, and they shouldn't have done that. They should have kept going because they weren't safe. And
And I don't know, it looks like thing up slightly, doesn't it?
yeah,
Sandora managed to take out a Cav there with a nice little kind of half leap attack. Shadow takes him out quite quickly, and Monkey, Demon, and Axel left to. Axel takes out Crash Dave, quite nice. Demon takes out Jans, and so 1 or 2 more kills. I mean, it's getting a little messy from the Russians. Don't fancy their chances to be, but 3v5.
Axel's horse is practically dead. With that many arrows, there's no way it couldn't be.
So, a walking arrow. Looks like a quiver. Oh! He's in a lot of trouble here. Oh, nice by Shadow though. Took out that cav. Got to be nearly dead now though. And he's down by Monkey's horse. And we reached 3v4 here now. Ooh, Monkey in a bit of trouble. This is Scout out there. His horse looks relatively undamaged. I don't know what kind of melee damage it's taken, but there's no ranged kind of arrows left in it.
Could be the flag won't spawn now. Flag spawns. But not yet.
I mean, it was messy from the Russians, really, wasn't it? It was kind of they had that advantage and they let it go, which hasn't been like them actually in this match.
Yeah. Now the Swadians, the Finns, do have still a crossbow and infantry and a cav. Well, I think that's a cav actually, isn't dismounted, it's Axel. But still he can act as infantry. So not too bad off actually. But the Russians also have archers and cav as well. So I'll have to see how it goes, but I think the Russians are probably going to take it. A bit of a one-man advantage. Cav are going up there to immediately contest it. And if whoever wins this cav duel may well decide the battle actually. Oh. Don't know if that was wise. That was not wise. Yeah, he's running off. Axel's got the pen out. Oh, and they've lost the cav. But then again, the Russians' cav also dismounted.
Yeah, you can see Monkey was kind of headed straight for it. Now Monkey should take out Arve here. No, he doesn't yet. Instead, oh, Axel! And some nice kind of play by Arve. Gets hit by Axel. Axel is in trouble. No, forced into Tarek, takes out Monkey, Saren and Soul, and win the round. I mean, it was a good effort from the Finns actually. There was a very difficult position, and Demon very cheekily takes out Gultar in the last second.
Aye.
And there's our final round. We're gonna discuss MVP.
Yeah, and it looks like the Russians are going for another cav spam. And once again,
Fun.
they have Tarok. I think was it Tarek last time who didn't have the cav. Gultar's pointing the way to go.
Tarek.
I think the Finns have cav spammed as well.
User joined your channel.
Semi
Yeah,
cav
that
spam.
should be Anthony.
Not all. They've got more cav. Oh, they're just charging
Well,
in.
it should be entertaining. So they just get monkeys on a suicide run. Somehow survives that.
Unscathed.
Yeah, relatively unscathed. Axel takes out Jans there.
Oh yeah.
Rurik takes out Monkey.
Runs into a sharp pointy
That's
stick.
quite painful.
Didn't see any great lances.
So obviously down getting quite isolated quite quickly, weren't they? I don't think either team are taking this too seriously.
Nah.
Oh no, that was he's coming to his aid after the a nice little chamber there by Sandora. It's proving quite the problem for the cav. In trouble now there. Oh lovely by Sander Jab takes out Shadow and
To
just
3v3.
swinging in their favour.
Nah, I think the cav
Oh
will
no,
even.
no. Demon not Lovely shot there by Demon. He's been, actually on this map, Demon's been very influential.
And Cavis can go
I think
over and
actually-
murder that crossbowman.
What's he going to do? Just run around the lot?
Crossbow and the infantry need to get together.
He's managed to retreat actually the... Oh!
Yeah, now they're together and much
He's
more
not done
powerful.
there. Probably
Oh
should've
no,
been
no,
putting
don't put your pike away. Oh dear.
Oh no. And he did throw us underwater actually.
User joined your channel.
There we go. So,
I'm not
pretty
following around
decisive
then.
victory for the Russians with 17-3, I think it was. Was it?
Yeah, they did probably did. Yeah, it was, yeah. It was a very strong run. And out from the GG. So, man of the match.
I don't know.
Crash had a very, very strong sandy push. But, Goldar was absolutely probably the most influential player on this map. So that'd have to be one of the two.
I have to say, I very much like the. I don't know if any players really stood out to me a lot, but I have to say the tactics of the Russian team were very, very nice in my opinion. Well organised and such.
Should we get to Goldar then for being the Russian leader? And
Yeah, I'd
for
probably go that way. I'd probably go that way. Yeah.
Okay, Goldar, congratulations, you've won the match. Well done. We're very proud of you. Good job, and good luck to both teams in the rest of the Nations Cup.
Indeed. And thanks for watching Warband's battle stream. Right.
Yeah,